Should the IPL auction scheduled for the 12th and 13th of February honestly go on, even though the Supreme Court has said that it can? And finally, and most importantly, should N Srinivasan now step down as the BCCI chief? That's the big debate that we have on Newsnight this evening. We have with me in the studio Bishan Singh Bedi, former Indian captain. Bishan Singh Bedi, welcome. Pradeep Magazine, senior sports journalist, also joining us. We have Ranjit Kumar, lawyer of the Supreme Court and also defending the BCCI, who will be joining us. Of course, Borya Majumdar, who's been breaking every aspect of the story for the past 3 days and now even today giving us his perspective, and Aditya Sondhi will be joining us in just a bit. Let me start with you, Borya. Mr. N Srinivasan, for the longest time, has been calling it a media trial. When the press questioned him, he said, I will go ahead and get elected. He almost dared journalists every time he was asked the question. Today, for viewers who are joining us, and for them, a number of aspects are very complicated, because despite all the proof, nothing really has happened to Mr. Srinivasan till now. How does it become imperative today and extremely tenuous for Mr. Srinivasan to continue as the BCCI president?
You know, Maruk, the fundamental difference between 2013 and 2014 is 2013 was actually a media trial which Mr. Srinivasan said, I don't give a damn. Today it's the Supreme Court of the country. Ultimately, you have to bow down to the highest judicial office of this country. And that for me is the hope. Do you expect the BCCI mandarins to now stand up and say Mr. Srinivasan to step down? No. Have you seen one BCCI State Association president call for anything? No. Have you seen the IPL Governing Council convene an emergent meeting? No. Have you seen any murmur there or any introspection there? No. The difference is, this is the Supreme Court. Ultimately, you have to bow down to the Supreme Court. You have to listen to the Supreme Court. You cannot stand up and say, I don't care. That is the hope. You know, now it's clear that Gurunath as team principal has compromised Chennai Super Kings, which is why it's 11.3, very simple. Chennai Super Kings need to be banned and the road goes to Mr. Srinivasan. I wouldn't stop there. Go and read the ICC Code of Ethics. It says if any close relative brings the game of cricket into disrepute, that person cannot assume office in the ICC. Will Giles Clark and Wally Edwards, who was backing Mr. Srinivasan for chairmanship, keep quiet now in England and Australia? Is this only about BCCI, or is this position in the ICC also untenable? Very big questions have sort of cropped up today, Maruk. The Pandora's box has opened. I want to see what will happen on 7th March when the Supreme Court decides the judgment is given. Can Mr. Srinivasan hide for cover?
No, but let me ask you this, and Borya, if you remember, a lot of our viewers who are calling in were asking the same question. Is it only going to be about the BCCI, or will his position in the ICC also be extremely tenuous and get affected by this controversy and the proof that has come out? Bishan Singh Bedi, the question really is that at this point, all that we are hearing from the BCCI is that they have zero tolerance towards any kind of corruption or malpractices within the game of cricket or the body that governs cricket in this country. Do you think we are going to hear from the BCCI, any official from the BCCI speaking out against their own chief, or is it going to be the judiciary that will finally take over?
Well, I think we need to compliment Justice Mudgal for a remarkable job done, and without any prejudice and without any fear. And this is the kind of truthfulness is required for the nation as of now. Remember, there is an ethnic corruption wave going on in the entire country. How can cricket be an exception? And to my mind, I mean, dare I, Durustai, I'm very, very optimistic that at long last, some right decision might be taken for the betterment of the game as a whole, not just a few individuals who are power hungry and money hungry and what have you, but the game of cricket, I think it deserves a lot more. The game of cricket, to my mind, was always very clean. It's the players and the officials who made it look so filthy and dirty. And now that the whole thing has been exposed, thanks to Justice Mudgal again, I think it's about time that people took due cognizance of the fact that yes, this country can do without enormously corrupted officials, sporting officials.
Pradeep Magazine, many have questioned the fact that N Srinivasan has pretty much gotten away with exactly what he wanted as far as this entire controversy and the scandal in cricket is concerned. And many are saying that there might still be some loophole within the system that he is going to use this time around. Apart from propriety, which perhaps Mr. Srinivasan really doesn't look at, is there anything else that he can use as a defense?
Well, I don't think he can use anything as his defense. There was no defense even earlier. But now that a Supreme Court appointed panel has given its findings, there is no escape route left to him except for the fact that the entire board he controls. And these are puppets in his hands. As Bori has rightly said, as everyone is saying, where are voices of dissent within the board? Where are people there questioning Srinivasan or the IPL Governing Council? If you talk to any board official, and I would go to the extent of saying that you talk to any cricketer today in India, Bishan Singh Bedi is a rare exception because the board has thrown pies, it has involved all the cricketers, it pays money to them, it pays huge money to them, the stakes for the players are so high that whatever they may talk in private, they are not willing to go in public and criticize the Indian board or Srinivasan. So unfortunately a system has been created where every stakeholder also benefits from the largesses of the board. So the voices of criticism are muted. Now it is up to the Supreme Court what judgment it gives, and I hope it gives a judgment which is fair, right, and I'm sure it will do that, and in which Srinivasan will have to bow out and the board will have to take corrective measures if cricket has to be restored in India. Its credibility has to be restored.